How are we going, folks? We're talking soils again today. Now this is a bed here that we had some celeriac growing in there. We've got some asparagus that has been cut down. We've harvested all the spears off that. We had broccoli over that side there and some more celeriac and some silver beet in this here. Sorry, spinach. And over here we had beetroot. Now this stuff here is Coco Pith. Let's have a look at it. Oh. And there's a little bit of soil down at the bottom, but it's dry as a bone. Have a look at this. Isn't that fantastic? We grew beetroot in here, had a decent crop out of there as well. But that is terrible, folks. So there's no life there. We'll go over the other side. This is where the celeriac was. Now those things have got big roots. Have a look at this. These are the remnants of the roots there. There's some of the roots there growing underneath there. Look at that, sandy. The Sahara Desert, folks. And over here, we had a bit of chicken manure, mulch, and then a bit of, that's the chicken manure, and a bit of cocoa fibre on top, and the mulch on top of that as well. Again, dry. Why? Because I'm not watering it. Without water, there's no life. But the only bed that I did look after is this little square metre here. We planted a couple of tomatoes, a couple of capsicums. This little marigold just withered away, but that's okay. Expect that to happen. And we did top it up with our planting mix. So we actually did used to water here. I just pulled everything out, but look how dry it is now. This was watered, I kid you not, earlier today, about 11 o'clock. It's now 5:30 in the afternoon. And by comparison, this is the planting mix. And it doesn't have to, oh, look at that. It doesn't have to be just planting mix, it can be compost. Look what I found, a worm. Yes, it's alive. And all I did here was spread it everywhere, laid some mulch over the top, and keep watering everything the same. Moist, dry. And why is it so? Well, Coco Pith does hold moisture, but it hates the direct sunlight and dries out real quick. So we're going to top dress this as well with planting mix and mulch over the top, and we're going to have a wonderful little crop growing in it. These are tomatoes, if you haven't recognised them already, and by the way, they need to be pruned as well, but that's for another segment. Before we top up, we hydrate. We've got to get the water down deep below, and then we spread. It's pulling up. Who wants to go for a swim? It's not soaking in at all. Let's check it out. Look at that. See that? It's just not penetrating through because it's dehydrated. Coco Pith holds 10 times, 20 times its own mass in moisture. And the only way you're going to hydrate it is by dumping a heap of water on it. And that's what we've got to do now. Otherwise, it's going to not work. So don't go doing what I did here, folks. This was a trial bed. As you know, I do trials in all my different beds. And this one here was full of Coco Pith and chook poo with the wood shavings added to it. Once and only once. You don't grow directly in Coco Pith. They do it in pots, but I wouldn't recommend it in a bed. It's starting to absorb the moisture. We've cracked the surface tension on it, folks. Not completely, because it's still dry underneath. But to say that Coco Pith is not a good medium to grow in, well, the fact is that I did actually have a great crop coming out of here. Now, be it all that I actually fed it with our superfood and blackweed, and we did have a small layer of mulch in some parts of it, but it does need a lot of attention as far as hydration's concerned. You don't want to grow directly in it unless you're going to do what I did, is look after it day and night. And the crop was fantastic. The root crop, like the beetroots that we grew in here, and the onions and spring onions, fantastic. Even the celeriac came out of here. They were huge. But as far as our spring-summer range is concerned, well, I recommend that you actually grow something like compost, a good quality compost, or our planting mix, and that's what I'm putting in now. There we go. And that's exactly what we did on the other side. I think we may have put a bag of compost in there as well, but there's plenty of compost in this planting mix. If you can't get your planting mix, well, go to your local garden centre or suppliers and ask for some good quality organic compost. Nothing that's been tampered with too much. A little bit of a blend. This feels just like a sponge. It forms, even though it's a little bit dry, it's still forming. I love it. Love this stuff. Step one completed, folks. We've hydrated the base, we've added our planting mix, and we're hydrating this as well. Step two is install the irrigation. And that's what we're going to do, and then we're going to mulch it, just like we did with the potato patch. So if you haven't prepared your garden bed, because I haven't, And I still haven't planted my tomatoes. What time of the year is it? Yeah, very late. Get your beds ready, get your planting mix or compost in there, get some irrigation down. You can do overhead spraying as well, that's vital, but make sure you hydrate the ground because you can see how dry it is down deep beneath. And if it's that dry, that means there's no life. The roots will be shallow and they'll struggle. Oh, look! Look at a tomato! Check out our website, vasilisgarden.com. Everything's on special every day from me, Vasili. Maresi.